Okay, so now that the cryptocurrency market has crashed from Friday, the dust is starting to settle a little bit. Prices are slowly coming back up. And I came across an interesting post from Robert Kiyosaki yesterday. And this is the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Really, really good investor. Has done really, really well for himself in real estate, other assets, also very bullish on some of the top cryptos out there. And I thought he had some interesting insights, regarding the fallout, regarding what just happened in the last 48 hours and kind of where we are as a crypto market, as an industry. And I wanted to share and give you guys some of my thoughts and opinions on this as well. So go ahead and hit the like button. Hopefully you guys are having a solid weekend. I know we got a big scare on Friday, and it's kind of crazy how that all happens to, late in the day Friday, big news hits the market. A lot of people are kind of checked out, not ready to make a move, and they do that a lot. But I think the market's slowly recovering. We'll see kind of what things look like later today as we get futures open. But I want to talk more about the macro, and that's where Kiyosaki comes in here. He said, reminder, I predicted the biggest crash in world history was coming in my book, Rich Dad's Prophecy. That crash will happen this year. Baby boom retirements are going to be wiped out. Many boomers will be homeless or living in their kid's basement. It's sad. Reminder, I have been warning anyone who would listen not to save printed assets. Invest in real assets. Reminder, for years, I've been saying savers are losers. Inflation turners savers cash into trash. Inflation turns savers cash into trash. He had a typo on his post. Reminder, for years I've been saying save gold, save silver, save Bitcoin, and recently Ethereum. Today I believe silver and Ethereum are the best two assets to hold because they are stores of value. But more importantly, they're used in industry. And prices right now on both of these assets, he believes are low. So silver and Ethereum, which is kind of interesting because if you look at gold and silver in the commodities market, it's kind of like the parallel we hear all the time, like gold and silver are Bitcoin and Ethereum in digital assets. Bitcoin's the store of value. Ethereum, while still a store of value, is usable as well, for smart contracts. He says, please study the pros and cons and usefulness of silver and Ethereum from haters and lovers of silver and ETH, and then invest with your own financial wisdom. That's how you elevate your financial intelligence and get richer. He said, take care. So coming from a person who has had a ton of success, the fact that he's bullish on Bitcoin and Ethereum in a world where he believes we're going through one of the biggest corrections, it's interesting, right? And it kind of goes back to Ray Dalio's points that the Great Reset is kind of upon us. Like if you think about what crypto's doing, it's changing the entire way money moves. It's changing money. And we've been heading down this path for a really long time. Like, just ask yourself or, internally think about this. 10 years ago, did you carry more or less cash back then than you do today? We're already kind of moving toward this cashless society. And now with the emergence of crypto and the ease of, sending money cross borders, both for business, retail, etc., we've been on this path for a while, right? And now the big banks, the big institutions are finally, while they don't really want to get on board, they have to. They're being forced to integrate this new system. And so I think, when we're looking at these big collapses, two of the assets that I bought right off the top were Bitcoin and Ethereum. I think a lot of people will run to like the high risk assets when we get these type of flash crashes that we saw on Friday. I go back to the tried and true assets. It's a great time to go and double down on those high conviction plays, right? Like Bitcoin and ETH. Bitcoin flushed all the way down to 102,000. ETH flushed all the way down, near 3K, which is insane. They're both off the bottoms. And yes, you can take a riskier bet, but why? You don't really have to in those situations. Now, I also bought 4 other altcoins outside of Bitcoin and Ethereum. You guys want to know which ones those are? Join the Patreon, link down below. We're doing some great stuff over there. Started a new portfolio, putting in $100 a week, started at zero. We're going to build that thing up. You're going to watch me build a winning portfolio in real time. So you get that perk. You get to see my long-term portfolio, all the assets I own. I'll be adding crypto stocks in there. You get to see all the moves I'm making, my buys and sells. And we're doing live calls every Friday. We had our first live call this Friday. Now, the price is going up starting tomorrow. So you literally have to the end of day today to get into the Patreon right now at that level at $20 with the live calls. It's going up to $40 tomorrow. So that is an emergency if you guys want to get in there. I promise you guys there'll be a ton of value. Got a lot of great minds in our Discord already, and I'm updating you guys constantly. So again, I think, looking at where we are right now, it's never a bad time to add the two assets that make up 70% of the market, right? And that's Bitcoin and ETH. And I know it's not this is like not a sexy video, but it's more of like a voice of reason video. And I think people need that during like times of chaos, right? So let me know your guys' thoughts down below. Let me know your thoughts about Robert Kiyosaki and his thoughts on what's going on in the middle of this decade. And what do you think the best assets are to invest from now to the end of this decade, from now until 2030? Love to hear your thoughts down below in the comments. Appreciate you guys for watching. Thank you so much for your support too. Super grateful for you. And we'll see you guys in the next one.